our top story tonight, while U.S. lawmakers are working to get the government funded, they're also following the developments out of Iran. Recent reports say tens of thousands of people have been murdered there after protesting against the Iranian regime. Now, some lawmakers are calling for tougher sanctions and a regime change. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales joins us with the latest. Erik.
Well, good evening, Veronica. We've all seen the pictures of bodies piled up in the streets as clashes continue in some 4,000 locations across Iran. But now a new report shows in a span of just 2 days, some 30,000 people were slaughtered in the streets of Iran. Think about that, folks. 30,000 people killed on January 8th and 9th alone. The information came from 2 Iranian health ministry officials, along with separate data from doctors at hospitals in the country. If true, these grisly numbers are staggering and far beyond anything reported by the Iranian government. Lawmakers up here on Capitol Hill tell me that the U.S. must act now against Iran.
We missed an opportunity because now whatever number, 20,000, 30,000 dead. So the regime did exactly what we expected. They went brutal, very brutal. They cut off the internet and then started killing people.
Time magazine reports security forces in Iran use rooftop snipers and trucks mounted with heavy machine guns to kill protesters after authorities cut communications to the outside world.
Those people have the right to protest, and if the regime is going to be killing those people, there needs to be a change in the regime. There's no question about that.
U.S. lawmakers are eyeing tougher sanctions. Bipartisan members in both the House and the Senate introduced measures to permanently authorize President Trump to implement punishing sanctions on Iran's economy. The measure would go after Iran's energy sector and cripple its attempt to build a nuclear weapon. Back in June, the U.S. conducted successful airstrikes against 3 Iranian nuclear sites.
We have to take a hard line with them. We have to continue to place economic sanctions on them and to prevent their ability to wage war against their neighbors or against Americans, anybody else.
President Trump promised Iranians that help is on the way. A U.S. carrier strike force has now moved into the Persian Gulf after Yemen's Iranian-backed Houthi rebels threaten new attacks on ships traveling through the Red Sea corridor. But Democrats stress military action is not the way to bring about regime change.
Only path forward is diplomacy. And I just have not heard a realistic path from this administration about diplomacy. Of course, all of us would love a diplomatic agreement.
You know, I like Senator Murphy, but that's absurd. You got a chance to set back the nuclear ambitions of a religious Nazi by years, and you don't take it. That's how World War II started.
The legislation called the Solidify Sanctions Against Iran Act passed the House Foreign Affairs Committee with broad support, and it's now awaiting floor action. Now, the Senate version, Republican leaders tell me that they plan to bring it to the floor in the coming weeks as the U.S. continues to ramp up its presence in the Middle East. So we'll continue to watch it very closely.